Howard Lehman of NatureWorks.
Well, let's see here. What are we going to do now? We can probably skip that. Hey, that's actually a picture when we were in Iceland here a couple years ago.
I was there.
Were you at the?
He took the picture.
He took the picture.
You know what? We just missed you by a few days, I think.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a before picture of the Kruger residence. And, you know, a lot of times people, and that's what I do, just show you 2 projects that we did. And a lot of times people kind of overthink things, right? A lot of times they think, oh gosh, you know, you need to have, you know, this full-blown plan, and it's really, you know, we've got to have everything detailed. And we do have to have everything detailed, but you don't need to have a full-blown set of plans, you know, especially for, you know, a project like this. This is actually in an HOA. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just do like a little thumbnail sketch, if you will, so I can take have all my measurements on there and a sketch of the property. And then we'll just, you know, figure everything up, and everything that you get on your bid is all itemized. You know, irrigation, you get this, this, and this. Plants, you get, you know, this size, this many, line item all the way down. In this case, for a small HOA, and this was at the total end of the overall property, they did have to have a little to scale sketch so they could do, because they have design reviews. And you can kind of take a look at that just to kind of see what, you know, it's just pretty minimal. It's a scale drawing, if you will. And they can present it to their HOA, and we can say yea or nay or make an adjustment or two. So this was the situation here where she just wanted to open this area up, go back, you know, she wanted a sitting area, and then she wanted a little bit of a screen for a little privacy, because it's a decent sized area for a little outdoor, you know, the patio. And you can see on that little sketch there, the little screen that I had come up with. And so we started on the project here. That's just some of the vegetation that was in there. Oh, by the way, you can see that in the foreground, that drain that's there. That certainly comes into play, because you want to take care of water the correct way. That on the left is not a statue, that's actually this Kruger. All right, and so we excavated, we took out all the plants there, we cut into the hill, and then we came up with this here. So we took out remember the walkway that was there? We took that out as well, just so everything is cohesive, it just flows nicely. And it didn't take much to take that out. So that's all interlocking pavers there, the retaining wall in the back. Unfortunately, with that screen there was really no good way to get a super shot from either angle. So I might have to get Patrick out there with his little drone, get a top photo. But anyway, that's what we did there. And behind that retaining wall is a leach line, so that gets emptied out in toward that drain that is still there. Have a shot there. You can see how long it took to finally get to the project, because you saw it was nice and sunny summertime. And when we finished up, it was the fall. Yeah, we were typically backed up 6 or 7 weeks. And oh yeah, and by the way, B&I, right? Her sister is, gosh, I forget her name. She's in the Oregon City one, and she does branding, business cards, and so forth. She actually came to our group, and she said, "Hey, you got to call Howard up for this project."
Yeah.
Yeah. B&I work. What's that? Do B&I work? I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes, it is.
Nice to check. So it was pretty fun. Actually, and you can see from that sketch that's going around, the screen changed a little bit. It was just supposed to be a screen. And she said, "Oh, how about if we do a little return? Oh, and then I'll put a top on it too." Well, I talked her out of putting she she wanted to put a little roof on this. It's a little heavy looking, so she might put something clear on it later, but at any rate. We put the return on that, so it changed a little bit from the original plan, so. But you know what? That's what happens. Everything works on paper. And you want to make it practical, you want to make it useful for the folks. All right, and then, this was a job we did up in North Portland. They had dug out these little light wells, if you will, for egress on their basement windows. So you notice the fence there. That's the existing front yard. That underneath the tarp is the excavated soil that they had from their light well project. And so what they wanted to do was come up with an idea of, using the front yard a little bit better. And they're actually right next to, you can tell, right next to the U-Haul. They're on the corner of, what is that, Lombard and Dual. Just one in from there. So we came up with basically this almost the same style of fence as what we used at that prior one at Kruger for the screening. The only thing here is, I don't know if we can zero in on that or not. No, we can't do that on here, can we? Oh yeah, we can. Can you see that wall? And you'll see it from a little different angle. But this right here is a concrete wall. Goes up, and then it goes toward that fence that you saw in the previous picture. So you can see that we had to anchor a nailer to that, and you can see all the different cuts that had to be made. So the guys did a really nice, clean job on that. Not something that, a lot of people may notice, but we do. Let's see. There we go. Oops.
Howard, how long will those timbers last?
It's funny. When we first started, we always used to use railroad ties. In fact, we did this one job down in La Jolla, down in San Diego area. We used over 500 railroad ties on that job. And, creosote and everything. And, we had to cut those things and, slather the cuts with creosote. And it's like, yeah, this is burning really nice, yeah. So, I need some chelation probably, I don't know. But get rid of that stuff. But when these first came out, they said, yeah, it's a lifetime guarantee. You just kind of go, whose lifetime? So they last about probably 30 plus years. And in fact, we did another job exclusively with those on another hillside in La Jolla. And we used about 300, I think. And when I go down to San Diego, I'll go by and check out one every once in a while. They're still there.
So these are pressure treated?
Well, they don't have the incisions as pressure treated. They do have a coating on there, so they're probably soaked. Yeah. So that fencing there, you can see now it covers that chain link fence. And then we used, since that's 2x4s and 2x6s random, and we have a ½ inch in between, because we have created basically this wind sail, right? We want the wind to go through it a little bit, so. Yeah. Anyways, that's a little bit more developed. And then a preservative on the fence now. Yeah, so good use of space. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And we did enter this one into the Landscape Association Awards this past year. And we came away with first place for that category.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was nice for the guys. And, it's just one of those things that you hope that they continue. We know that they will continue to do. By the way, you notice that you have here in certain places, those are called dead men or anchors. So they are perpendicular to the wall. They go in about 4 feet. And that first landscape tie we put in with ½ inch galvanized pipe, about 18 inches long, we slammed that in. And then they're put together, the subsequent ties are put together with 10-inch tie screws. So it's really solid, and it's crib wall style. So, yeah. So those are the two of the projects that we've done this past year. And just continue to do these projects. So if you do, great referral is for someone that would like to get some usable space. You can see how simple that is. So, anyway, there we have it.
Good job.